Welcome to the court. This is Acker at Basketball.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Acker at Basketball podcast. Here once again with your number one duo when it comes to anything ASUN men's college basketball. Father-son duo, that is. I'm the son, Curtis D. Acker.
Father Mark Acker, your father, anyways.
Yes. Oh, very excited for episode 19 here. Got a lot of good stuff coming to you guys. I think about, 25 is kind of our average views as of late. So real quick before we get started, let's try to get this video to 10 likes if we can. That would be awesome. I'd really appreciate that if we could get it to that. So we're going to break down. We're going to do best to worst record so far this year.
Yep. And
we're going to do it in reverse alphabetical order. But before, with that, let's get started. You got a good Acorns Attic for this week, so let's hear it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're coming up on a new year, but not because of that, but I'm inspired by the word new this week.
Yeah.
And first and foremost, we want to wish my nephew, your cousin, and his wife, and their brand new baby.
Yes.
Who was just born last Sunday, or Sunday actually it was. Very happy and so glad to have her here and everybody being healthy so far. But beyond that, the new for me is where this little project we're doing here is taking me every day. I'm learning something new, and that's just amazing. It's so fun. I know we've talked about it some, but just the joy of experiencing something new for me is very fulfilling. Hopefully it's new. We're not too new that we're not showing what we don't know what we're doing.
No, I think well, hopefully. I don't know. That's up for you guys to decide. I think we've done a good job of proving that we're learning more each day and getting better and better and evolving each day.
Exactly.
As well.
It's just so fun to do that as an individual, and hopefully we're bringing some fun and some information to you out there as well.
Yes.
So that was mainly what I wanted to bring today. It's just, I think even if you're struggling out there, if you're kind of in a rut or even if you're not in a rut, go find something new tomorrow to do. It could be something small, it could be something close to you, it could be something far away.
Right.
Just do something new.
Right.
And just get that little extra charge in you.
Yeah, that's cool. I
go.
like that. That's positive right there. Well, and there's a lot of mixed emotions that can come with new in general. Yep. So that's where my verses for this week kind of come from. Is 1 John 5:14-15. And this is the confidence that we have in him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he heareth us. And if we know that he hear us, whatsoever we ask, we know that we will have the petitions that we desired of him. So kind of what we were talking about when it comes to a little manifesting a little bit, people misuse it a lot. I think they thank the universe for their manifestation or themselves for the manifestation. It's
right.
When little do they know it's God doing the work for them. So just want to kind of get people to gear towards that and know that if you're stepping into something new, ask God about it or look for his guidance along the way, and he'll help you out with that. The next one that I've got here is Isaiah 43:18-19. Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. It's kind of what I was talking about with those mixed emotions that can come with something new. Yeah. It can jolt you in certain ways. So to kind of recenter yourself and understand that God has a plan for you and that it's going to work out for your benefit.
Right.
That's great wisdom right there. It helps out a lot in times of maybe some anxieties. And then last one is James 1:5. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. So kind of same thing with that manifestation theme there. Yeah. This one's specifically for wisdom here, because that's what God wants for all of us at the end of the day, is to improve in his wisdom and to grow closer to him more and more as you grow up in life. So for that, I think that's really important that, hey, in all things you do, this is another verse, and I'm not saying it verbatim, but in all things you do, ask God about it, and he'll make your path straight. So just another reminder for you guys, especially with Christmas coming up here. I know we can kind of get lost in the presents and the festivities and everything like that, but remember who we're doing it for, and that's actually why you'll see in all the upcoming weeks here, you'll see a little emoji of Christ next to the little caption there at the bottom of it. Starting off though with West Georgia, who's currently 6-5, one of the two teams that is just that. Little recap of their results. So this is where we're diving a little bit deeper for you this week. On the 13th, played against Georgia Southern. Tough loss, 91-85. We were there in person for that one. Josh Smith led the way with 24, tied his career high in free throw makes with 9. That's a season high for him as well.
Yep.
And then Chaz Lulis also set a new career high for free throw makes. Hit on all 7 of attempts. I think they only missed 1 at the end of the night. I think it was 19 for 20 or something like that. Your boy Chime, he also set a new career high as well.
Yeah, he did. You mean like a Chime Changa?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
No, not that.
That was bad timing.
But yeah, no, he set a new career high.
With points?
Yeah.
12 points, 6 for 6 from the floor.
Yeah.
Just clean. Really did a good job inside.
Yeah, that's a new
Against
career
a
high
tough
for him as
team.
well too. 6 makes.
Yep.
And he doesn't take any from outside, so I'll leave you to guess where those shots came from.
Exactly. Right. But what was I really was impressed watching him. He wanted the ball.
Yes.
Right. He wasn't just cleaning up, which he does a very good job of that, but he was looking for the ball. They got him the ball, and he really delivered on him.
Right. And head coach Dave Moore actually talked about that in the post-game interview, which we'll leave that somewhere for you up on the top corner of the screen here. But they were the only ones that set new career highs as well. Xavier Shigag, new career high, 2 steals as well. So that was a cool stat to find as well.
Yeah.
Sure
was.
Shelton Williams-Dryden had an off night, but he did play better in the next game.
Right.
That was a Bruton Parker win. Bruton Parker was 9-2 heading in the game. They won 70-49 in that one. SWD led with 18 points. Still not a great night shooting for his standards, though. 6 for 14. So hopefully he's able to step it up into the next week. The answer to that game you found was someone else.
Yeah, Colton Griffin really took over. He dominated the ball. Both ends of the floor, was creating steals. And I really like that he attacked the rim with the ball. He created great off of that. I forget his point total, but he was really solid. I shouldn't say he picked up the slack for anybody in particular. He just added to what they were doing.
Right.
In a great way. So very impressive performance from Colton.
Yeah, for sure. Eric Baltasari also hit a clutch 3 when they really needed it. The games were 2-2 when we kind of split even on coverage of them.
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch much of it, but that was one of the only plays that I saw was Baltasari hitting that clutch 3.
Exactly.
Also got his first steal of the game as well. But yeah, they really needed that bucket.
Well, yeah, and what happened in the game was Britton Parker just taking a 3-point lead after kind of keeping it close. Just took a lead. Baltasari had the steal, got the bucket, and then it was like lights out from that point on. It really sparked West Georgia. They shut him down defensively, and then just cleaned house at the other end. So that was really the spark that did it. It was just a minute or so of playing time that Eric had in the game.
Yeah, I think it was three. 3 is what he ended with on the night. 3. Yeah, 1 for each minute that he played, or 1 for each point that he scored. But yeah, the pack went running from there though, and then that head coach Dave Moore was able to get guys like Max Young, Cameron Merritt, who Merritt also got his first career steal, and an apple as well, and then Nate Jones as well got to get some playing time, scored his first career bucket as you just said. Yeah, same thing. He talked about that in the post game interview. So once again, we'll leave it kind of up in the description or up in the screen for you. Preview of what's going on though. So tough opponent, 10-1, 25th ranked Georgia. They got to go to Athens for this one on the 22nd. Yeah. Bulldogs currently on a 5-game heater. Won 84-65 against Cincinnati last week. That was their final game being unranked. Won 112-82 against Western Carolina Thursday night. Did beat Bellarmine as well, opening day 104-59. Just something to keep in mind there. A little ASUN tie in there.
Right.
Players to defend for me though. You got to watch out for leading scorers Jeremiah Wilkinson and Blue Kane, but I do think it's Jake Wilkins to watch off for on the bench. I think that's the main one. He's scored well, especially at the beginning of the season against mid-major opponents.
Okay.
Did it again tonight. He had 18 minutes tonight. His minutes were kind of falling off before that, but tonight he got 18 minutes, 9 points. I think he started off with 7 points in 7 minutes tonight. Actually, I know that for a fact. I saw that on the screen. I was paying attention as we were doing our research tonight. So yeah, I think that's a key point or a key player to watch for heading into this one on the Georgia side of things.
Okay.
What do you think as far as your keys for the game?
Yeah, I mean, Georgia's really they can really gun it. 68 free shots they take per game. It's a big number. They don't shoot the 3 well, but I don't know that's gonna be a big factor to the end result of this game. But just a stat, if they go really, really cold potentially, right? There may be an opportunity there. Another big thing for Georgia is they steal the ball 11 times a game, and they also force 17 turnovers. It's a big differential there.
Right. These are as of Thursday night, right?
Not counting tonight's game.
Right.
Thursday.
Before tonight's game.
Correct.
Yes.
Sorry, Thursday. Exactly. And they lead the nation in points, so points per game. They lead the nation. Also lead in blocked shots. We know West Georgia really likes to get to the rim. Both with their bigs and their guards. Obviously, Josh is really good at that. Chaz is good at getting inside as well, trying to get the shot. So that's going to be one of the big things for me is how does West Georgia handle that presence inside? Are they going to go after it and force shots, off balance, that kind of thing, and see what happens? I want them to be aggressive, or are they going to be patient, give a head fake, kick the ball out, work the ball around? That, to me, that's a big element of what key to the Wolves winning the game is that.
Okay.
I also want to see them get a fast start. The last 2 games, they've been shut out early for the first 2-3 minutes of the game. They haven't scored a point. That's not going to work against a team like Georgia. So they got to get off to the fast start. And then the third thing is just controlling turnovers, like I was just talking about with the stats that Georgia, the Bulldogs can put up. Like West Georgia's got to really control that. Similar to what I was talking about with them getting inside and taking smart shots, would be not trying to get over.
Okay, that's fair. Well, how about the fact that Georgia also leads the nation? Once again, before the Catamount stats are calculated, I think they had 3 blocks tonight, but they're leading the nation in total blocks and blocks per game.
Right.
As well.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So that's something that really stands out to me. You gotta make sure that you're able to avoid that. Win the glass battle as well. So Georgia only the 1 loss, but in that 1 loss, they only had 7 offensive rebounds and 26 defensive rebounds. Lost overall battle 42-33, and that was against Clemson. An overtime victory against Clemson. It was 97-94 is what I believe it was. Remember, Clemson beat North Alabama at the beginning of the year as well.
That's right.
But yeah, so that's kind of the scary thing for me here is making sure that those things are done, or the keys for me, I guess. And mix and match shooting from inside and outside in this one. That's another key thing for me. I think that's most of the game for the Tigers win over the Bulldogs. They were 44% from beyond in that game.
Okay.
But they mixed and matched inside outside as well. So I think that's a key for we've seen it in the past. West Georgia, when they play against a Power 5 school, they focus on the 3, definitely hit those shots from deep,
right.
But also mix and match inside, because I think that was maybe one of the things that held them back in those games before when they were playing against Power 5 teams.
Right. Now, Matthias Zucic back. Now, he's played 3 games, I believe, now. He did hit a couple threes early in the Bruton Parker game. Once that was the first
he looked much better in his second start.
Much better there, right. The first game against Georgia Southern, he was a little bit, the first start anyway.
Yeah, his first start.
He struggled a bit, but he looked like he came around a little bit last game, so he may be a big element to the point you're just making about hitting threes.
Right. Sure. So what do you think for this week?
I think Georgia's just way too tough, personally. The challenges we laid out here for West Georgia, I'm excited to see how they handle those things. Right, this is probably their toughest game of the year, I would say, to at least to this point.
One of them, yeah.
Opponent, anyways. I've got a Georgia win. One of the teams in Georgia is going to win this game. No,
that's a good call.
I'm going to go with the home team.
I like that call. I bet you're right on that one.
Give me your prediction then.
So I think in any other week I might pick an upset by West Georgia.
Yeah.
I do have 0-1 though. I actually did have 1-0 earlier in the day, but then I was thinking about it and I'm like, Shelton's game has been off the past couple games. Also, along with that, just the team in general hasn't really been playing the best. And Chaz Lulis was out last game.
Correct.
So if Chaz is healthy, I think then I'm going to go win. But since I currently don't know if Chaz is going to be playing or not, I would say it's going to be a loss.
Gotcha. Okay.
Moving into Lipscomb now, we got 6-5 as well. Did have a fantastic effort in a 97-73 loss against Duke. That scoreboard does not reflect the pace of the game. It wasn't until the last few minutes that Duke really took off. Mateo Esmeralda was fantastic, as you can see on the screen, his points for the night. And he just, real quick, before we move into the leading scorer for the night as well, that one, Mateo looked a step ahead mentally against everyone from Duke. So that's like just emphasizing the grittiness and the basketball IQ that he has.
Right.
He was a step ahead the whole time. If either team, whoever made the mistake, if it was one of his teammates or Duke, he would jump right on the ball right away. Yeah, it was really impressive to see. Grant Assman was impressive once again as well. Topped all scorers for Lipscomb with 18 points on the night. Tough road going against Cameron Boozer in that one.
Exactly.
But yeah, great effort. They forced a bunch of turnovers on Duke. Forced Duke to the most turnovers they've had against any team in just the first
half, right?
Half alone. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it in like national news. That fact right there that you pointed out.
Yeah,
for sure. So yeah, no, a really good show from Lipscomb. That's what that's the what you I think. Best case scenario, you win. But you play real hard. You show yourself as having an element that you can compete, not only now but in March as well.
Well, and head coach Kevin Carroll talked about in the game prior in the post-game interview. He was talking about how they're just going to go and have fun and enjoy the experience, and I guarantee you they did that. I'd say they accomplished that feat. They put a lot of eyes on themselves.
Right.
I know in a lot of the stuff I saw on X, like they were getting ranked in the mid-majors, top 60s and stuff like that.
Right.
So yeah, it was definitely a good showing for them.
Maybe they get stopped and got candy again on the way home.
And it looked like they had a party at one of their houses.
They had like a Christmas party.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
The road trip was a candy.
Yeah. But for this one, upcoming week, December 20th is when they're going to play against Blue Mountain Christian, who's 3-8 right now. They're an NAIA school. Another NAIA school from the Southern States Athletic Conference that's playing against an ASUN team here. They did win 94-47 against Southeastern Baptist on the 13th, then lost 77-63 against the University of Mobile on Thursday. So with this one, I think not too much to think about here. The Bisons are hosting a struggling NAIA team this year. ASUN's 23-0 when playing against non-Division I opponents, was something that you have done plenty of good research on. So that's how I was able to pull that stat. Thank you for doing that. And Lipscomb's the hottest team in the ASUN right now, even after their loss to Duke. It's easy win for me. Jonathan Baker put up 23 points in their last game, and leading scorers Michael Hill, Gavin Shannon, and Jamarian Harvey. None of them played in that game, so that was a little surprising to me. Because they all played the game before, so the fact that they didn't play in this next game against Mobile is a little shocking to me. Maybe they were resting for a big coming up game against Lipscomb, knowing how intense it was supposed to be, or maybe everyone got sick. Who knows?
It is going around.
It is kind of that season a little bit. But yeah, so we'll move into the Lions.
Yeah, I have a win as well.
That's right. I forgot about it.
I don't really have anything to add. You did nice research on that.
Thanks.
I think that's where we're at.
I have you to credit for some of that. And then North Alabama Lions. We got them at 5-5 now. They 68-60 loss against Alabama M&M. Credit to the Bulldogs.
M&M. Are you hungry? I just mentioned candy, and now you get M&Ms.
Now I got M&Ms in my head, exactly. Yeah, Alabama A&M. The Bulldogs definitely won this game, but this was a winnable game for
sure.
The Lions. Like the Bulldogs earned the win. Kanan Jefferson had a career-high 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists is what he also ended. Those last 2 were not career highs, but the first one was 20. And then Jamal Albritton, career best 4 blocks in that one. He's stepped up incredibly this year. I thought it was maybe going to be Israel Jenrette.
Right.
Jenrette hasn't. I can't remember if he hasn't played at all this year. Only played like 1 game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hasn't seen him. Albritton stepped up as the backup big in his final season of eligibility here, which is awesome to see.
Right. We see him step up. We've seen Darkon step up. Right.
Mm-hmm. Darkon stepped up a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, Dante Bacchus has been incredible.
Yeah, but I'm talking about more of the bench players. I'm waiting to see. I know we're maybe jumping a little bit here, but I'm waiting to see. But in this topic, for some of the new guards to step up in playing time. Right. We really haven't seen that element from first couple games, yes, but as the last few have come on, the bench has gotten shorter and shorter.
In the guard spot.
In the guard area. Yeah.
Although Cortez has been man in some minutes at the guard.
Bodie.
Well, how can you take Kanan Jefferson and Kevin Djokovic off the Kevin DeCova Lapa.
It's a bit of a struggle that last year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, he even acknowledged it. He's like, I'm going to get this right one time.
But you get one. You worry about wear and tear on players. Not that these guys can't handle it. They're great. They're very good athletes. They're conditioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that. It's you want to avoid wear and tear. You can worry about injury, but also you got to give teams different looks.
Yes.
Right. So where do they fit in? Of course, we're not in the locker room. We're not at practice. We don't know what's going on from that perspective. But just observationally, I see there's room for more from their guards, more depth, and more scoring from their guards as well.
Okay, fair point. Moving into the upcoming week, though, so on the 19th, which is today, if you're watching here on Friday, they're going to play against Loyola Marymount in Los Angeles. I call this the King of the Jungle Bowl because they're both Lions.
Nice.
For nicknames
like
here. LMU is coming off a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah.
So that's not great.
They had 4 or 5, right? They only had 1 in the last 5 wins.
Yeah, exactly. And well, actually, last week was their only game, or in their only game, 67-57 loss against UC San Diego, who is currently 10-1. So that's big news as well. Like just the fact that they're 10-1, like. It was a 10-point loss, probably ended. I didn't watch the game, but knowing it, just how college basketball works, when a score's like that at the end of the game, probably got an automatic fouling at the end.
Right,
exactly. For this one though, so what do you kind of think coming into this one for keys?
Keys to the game, Neil. I want to see Neil. We know how Cornelius. We know how good and dominating he can be. We haven't seen that recently.
Since he went out against Clemson, pretty much. I think he's had a couple of good games since then.
Right, but
I think UT Southern he played really well against.
Right, but when he's not been on the floor or when he's been out or in a game, we've seen just inconsistent. They've been inconsistent all year.
Yes,
more so. We've talked about that watching the last game. Are they going to be better with him out? It kind of felt like the momentum had turned, but then it didn't once again. So. Just that it's a Jekyll and Hyde team for me this year. I don't really know where they're at. They get in funks where they just get stuck. Mostly offensively. Last game, they only had 4 offensive rebounds.
I do have a little comment on that, though. It's because, like, you see a team like Lipscomb, and you see how together they are as a unit, how much they root for each other.
Yeah.
Even we'll talk about it a little later tonight with EKU.
Yep.
But with UNA, something I noticed in the game, and I've noticed this in prior games.
That's why I brought it up. Thank you. Keep going.
Yeah, I completely forgot about this until just now, but I watched it in the game and I said something to you about it. Is that a mistake will happen on the court, and instead of my bad, players will look at the opposite player that they were trying to make the play with, and it seems like they're placing blame on them.
The body language part doesn't.
Yeah,
look right.
And I'm not saying that's the definite case scenario. I'm not saying that's the case every time. There are times where guys own up to their mistake. It just seems like maybe that could be part of the disconnect going on right now.
Yeah, agreed.
For sure. But for my keys to the game heading into this one, I've got, unless do you have any more that you'd like to get off?
Yeah, let me finish. So the rebounding part, it kind of goes to that element of togetherness, right? Again, only 4 offensive rebounds. They get stuck in a one-man game a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And Loyola Marymount they give up only 35 rebounds defensively. They're a good defensive team. Lockdown 40%, shooting under 30 from 3. So that UNA's got to step up and really deliver in that regard. I think that's a big piece of it, is showing that fire consistently through the game. So anyway, thank you for letting me finish.
Yeah, of course. I want to let you get all your points out. So for mine, they got to push the paint. 46-67 of UCSD's points came from in the paint, and that speaks beautifully to the trend you were talking about. With they have a huge depth at forward, in big spots. So that's going to speak really well to that. Players to defend in this one: Rodney Brown Jr. scored 10 or more in the past 4 games, a team high 19 in their last one. And this one, next guy, kind of speaks to why they've lost. Yan Vide. He has been out for the, or at least went without their lead playmakers, what they did for 3 of the 4 losses that they've had recently, 1 and 3 in those games that he was not in there. And yeah, for me, that's kind of the big one, is that he was out. So now that Vide's back, you can't let yourself get distracted by his playmaking skills, because now that opens everything up for everyone else. Even he got 5 assists right in his first game back against the Tritons there. So yeah, that's kind of the one for me, is don't let Vide distract you from what's going on around the rest of the court.
Right.
And just prepare for their scoring depth. Kind of leads into my next point. The team has had a different leading scorer 6 different times in the last 7 games. So obviously with Vide being out, that affected it a little bit.
Sure.
But yeah, that's a big one for me as well.
Yeah.
What do you got for kind of the overall prediction?
The prediction, I didn't even predict it because I couldn't make a decision. I'll make a decision right now. I'm gonna go with a win. So they just proved they Lions won in San Francisco, so I don't think the travel's an issue. Loyola's struggling. I'm gonna go with a victory.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a victory as well, and here's my reason why. Outside of just kind of comparing the past schedule for this one, because I think these teams are pretty even, and why I think they're even is Loyola Marymount beat Eastern Washington by a score of 8 on opening week. As we know, Eastern Washington got blown out in a very awakening game for Central Arkansas earlier in the season.
Yeah, they did.
They also beat Troy 74-63. Trojans lost in a double overtime. Great game against West Georgia. And then they did lose to Florida Atlantic 76-65. FGCU lost to them by 5. Is what they lost to them by on December 7th. Both of those games kind of happened towards the end of December, or end of November, early December. So they're beating teams that ASUN teams have beat, and they're losing to teams that ASUN teams have lost to. They're kind of right in that conversation with the ASUN. So I think these are kind of even matchups here. And as I mentioned, with the depth of forward and the points in the paint that was scored against the LMU Lions in the previous game, got to give it to UNA.
Okay.
They're going to be the kings of the West because they're going to go out to the West twice and win.
Good call.
Thanks. Another 5-5 team is Austin P on December 12th. They had a awesome night on Fan Appreciation Night. This was such a fun game to watch. Zyree Collins ended up getting a career high 25 points, career high 6 rebounds, all of them on the defensive end. And then 9 assists as well, tied his career high.
Keep going.
7 field goal makes is a career high for him. 6 from 2. 10 free throws makes is also a career high. Actually, no, the field goal makes I don't think is a career high, but the 6 from 2 is a career high. Yeah. And then also rounded out the night with 3 steals as well. So, wow, what a night.
And what I really... if you look at him for where he started the year, like physically, he looks strong. Like he's really leaned up and manned up is a stupid phrase, but he's grown into a man's body. It's really, and I think
credit
he's quicker.
To the training staff as well. Obviously his work, and then the training.
But to me,
staff.
He's quicker, he's stronger, and he's so smooth with the ball. He can get by anybody.
Yeah,
it's really he's a fun player to watch.
Front running contender for freshman of the year for sure.
Easily, absolutely.
For sure.
There's several though. But.
Yeah. We're gonna get to one a little bit later, actually. But he wasn't the only one with career highs that night.
That's right.
As well.
Matty Ice.
Yes.
Enright. First start.
Yes.
First start of his career. 17 points. Hit 6 field goals. 5 from 3. All career highs. He was a huge piece. Total confidence in his shot. Right. And then those two playing off together as freshmen. Really fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, Enright's not a freshman though.
Oh, he's not.
No. He came from ULM, yeah, or University of St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
Missouri.
My bad.
Yeah. But that's good.
Fun to watch those two play off each other.
Yeah, for sure. We want to move into next week now.
Yes.
All right, let's do that. So on the 21st, they're gonna be going to Kansas City. Kansas City is 2-11 right now. The Roos had an eventful last week. They got I'm sorry. I don't think they ended up playing 3 games. Pretty sure they only ended up playing 2. Just let me look this up real quick. Fill it with some keys to the game though, as I look this up.
Yeah, the Roos don't have a D1 win. Struggling on the defensive end, particularly inside. and they're not a good 3-point shooting team as well. So for me, keys of the game, I want to see Austin Peay establish early inside presence, get going with Marshall and Colin Parker. I think that's huge. They'll just sort of can just set the stage.
Marshall's been great lately too.
He's been very good. They've been feeding him the rock. He's been finishing really strong. So yeah, I want to see that. An aggressive defense. I think they can take advantage of their good stat about of steals. They're leading the ASUN steals. And I think Casey's ripe for the picking in that regard. And then I know Coach Gibson talks about winning the middle 8. I think they got to win the final 8. We talked about that some last week, or a bunch of data behind that, how they've lost at the end. To me, they rose to the occasion in their last game, but I think they still got to deliver game after game after game. Me personally, as a coach, I'd like to see more usage from their bench. That's been getting shorter and shorter. Of course, again, I don't know why.
We kind of know why. Head coach Corey Gibson talked about it. He said, we're defining roles now.
Right. But I just want to. I guess you're right. That's a fair point. I still want to see more action from the bench. I think that would keep guys fresher for that final 8 stretch.
Okay.
So those are my keys to the game.
Nice. Well, I did find out, by the way, it was 3 games, so my bad for apologizing earlier. That's not the case. Got a 175 win on the 12th against Spurgeon College, which is an NCCAA school. Right. Which, by the way, Kansas Christian College said that they beat them twice on their website, and then Spurgeon College, you go to their website, they said they beat Kansas Christian College, and Kansas Christian College was 3-8 when they went to play against UCA. We had them as 2-1 last week, so something's going on there. But my mistake for trusting a bad source on that one.
Our staff will get to the bottom of this.
Yes. Lost games to Oklahoma in Oklahoma to the Sooners and the Cowboys, both Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Player to defend in this one for me, Kasheem Grady II. He's been moved in the starting lineup recently. He's scored over 10 nearly all of those games. So I definitely think that he might be the guy to watch out for there. Right. This is a perfect matchup for the Governors, though. Because the team's not good at shooting the 3 ball. Only shot over 30% from beyond. Out of all their Division I games, I think it was only once or twice is when they've done that. So, yeah, this is really, really, really a perfect matchup here for Austin Peay.
Agreed.
Key to the game, force disruption, shut down that 3 ball like you know you can do. I expect this to be a win. And don't underestimate Kansas City like we're probably doing right now, because that's how teams end up losing. So I have a 1-0 week. What do you got?
Yeah, same. I think this will be a nice solid win. No, I don't have anything to add. Again, I think one of the big things is they got to get up to that quick start. I think that'll help set the table right off the bat. Not that they can't come back. They've shown lots of resiliency as well to fight, but I think the first few minutes will be, and I'm expecting them to put it up.
Nice. So. All right, moving into Bellarmine, who's 5-6 coming into this week here. Why don't you start us off with the first game recap?
So on the 13th, they lost a tough one to Northern Kentucky. 80-76. Jack led the way, 21 points, 8 rebounds. Sam Donald had a career high with 2 blocks, not a big number of blocks, but still a career high. It's good to see.
Well, it's not every day someone gets 2 blocks either.
Right, especially in blocks, right? No doubt. And he's getting more. I think he's getting more acclimated to multiple roles, or the game action. Anyways, you see him contributing more and more.
Right.
So, anyways, yeah, that was a good ball game. And then on the 17th, boy, and you watched this game more than I did. Against Chattanooga, they ended up winning big 15-point victory, but it didn't look so well that was going to happen even partway or deeper into the second half.
No. Go ahead, follow us on X, Instagram. That's how you can get you keep up with our community page as well. That's where you'll find those post-game write-ups. We're getting a lot more in-depth with those as well. And you could see the game flow throughout that. Chattanooga was off to Bellarmine started off hot. They held them scoreless for, I think, the first 4 minutes or something like that. Chattanooga got hot from there. Then they kind of traded blows for a while. Chattanooga extended the lead. And then Sam Donald hit a clutch 3 at the end of the second. And he actually got hurt at the beginning of
I was going to say that, yeah.
Or at the end of the first, he hit a clutch 3, buzzer beater, and then got hurt at the beginning of the second. That kind of energized the team, and the team really took off from there.
Right.
In that one, though, Chad Karasinski led with 20 points, also got a career-high 12 boards, all defensive, which that's a career-high for him as well. Brian Waddell, career-high 8 boards as well. And then Darius Bolden, 7 assists. That tops his career best. 6 rebounds is his best. 3 of them were at the offensive end. That's also a best for him as well. And then, big one. You want to say it?
Donovan Hunter drew and made his first 2 free throws of his college career.
That's that was his first time ever drawing free throws, correct?
Yes,
yeah.
correct.
Yeah. More of that, Donnie, please. Yeah, I know you're a great shooter as well. I remember seeing your off-season workouts working on that 3-ball.
Yeah.
But get it to the inside, too.
Exactly, right. We know Bellarmine likes to get it inside.
Yes. Yes. Well, he does bring a nice change of pace for what they usually do. But yeah, definitely want to see him get inside and cause some disruption or some havoc as well.
That's right.
In there. Moving into what they got upcoming for the week, December 23rd, they're going to be playing at UK.
Right.
Going to be a very, very good game. They're 7-4 currently, at least. They're playing against St. John's on the 22nd, who's currently 7-3 right now at the time of recording.
Yep.
It's the 22nd ranked St. John's. They're playing them on the 20th, is when that will happen. So they're coming in this week having won their last 2. Last week won 72-60 while hosting Indiana. That was a big win for them as well. For me, the players to defend in this one, Otega Owe, of course.
Of course. Yes.
He's on a 14-game heaters, scoring 10+, including the 3 games that they played in March Madness last year, where he really shined on the national stage. I mean, Kentucky plays on the national stage every night, but he shined there. Another one for me, Colin Chandler. He's the best 3-point shooter in the starting lineup. Takes 5 a game. He hits 41% of them this year. Leading scorer for 2 of the games that they've had this season. And then a quiet one is Trent Noah. He'll get anywhere between like 20 to 10 minutes in this game. Best 3-point shooter with 3 or more attempts on the team at hitting a 43% clip. So coming off the bench and just knowing in general, we've talked about it before.
Yep.
Bellarmine's not great at defending the 3.
Right.
That's a big one for me. So what do you got for your keys, and then I'll give you my keys.
Yeah, and UK is deep scoring from a scoring perspective.
There were 3 other guys that I could have mentioned.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys
deep.
that can play, so a lot of interchangeable parts that Coach Pope can put out there. 3 keys for Bellarmine for me. Number one is play your way. We know Bellarmine likes to be methodical on offense. They don't really run out. Just keep to that style and try to frustrate Wildcats. To me, it's one key to it. Keep them off the glass. They don't. Kentucky does not rebound great, especially offensively. Just under 12 per game. It's a little below a normal average. So let's keep it that way. That's right. We had 2 top rebounding performances, career best rebounding performances from Jack and Waddell last game. Let's keep that working and have Kentucky just be one and dones. And then get fouled. I think Kentucky fouls a bit. And we know Bellarmine's a great free throw shooting team. 81%. I didn't look. That might be close to the tops in the country.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be very high up there.
I'll let you know.
Free throw
I'll let you know. Keep going on your keys.
Those are my 3 keys. I really I try to stick to 3 keys to a game, and I'm looking at it as perspective of what would it take for the Bellarmine team to win. So those are my 3 to go.
Third.
What's that?
Third in the country.
Third in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, right. So take advantage of that.
I'm at least according to Sports Reference here tonight.
So get inside. We know Kentucky's deep. Again, they can just roll guys over, but go after them.
Yeah.
Get them in foul trouble and see if they can get some cheap, easy baskets.
That's a good one.
They're not cheap. They're easy. They're free.
Free. That's why they're called free throws.
Exactly. What are your keys?
My keys: share the rock. The Wildcats are 1-4 when they give up 13 or more assists. They have only lost to ranked opponents though, which are still
I had that note as well. I didn't mention
still
it.
ranked.
Yep.
But their only loss against a mid-major team is to the Gonzaga Bulldogs. That was a blowout recently as well.
Exactly.
But they're 6-1 overall against mid-majors. Create second chance points, so they're 1-3 when giving up 10 or more rebounds, offensive rebounds. So that's another big one for me as well. And even head coach Doug Davenport talked about in last game that he thought they did a good job of creating offensive rebounds throughout the game. So that was the second game straight he had talked about in the post game, creating those offensive rebounds.
I'm wondering if he's asking for them or trying to prompt his team to do that, because they are the they average 6 offensive rebounds per game, which is a very low number.
Yeah.
So maybe he's trying to prompt his team. Hey, look, we gotta get better there.
Yeah, and perhaps maybe he was looking ahead.
To your point, there's opportunity there from this team. Let's jump into it.
Yeah, and also the games that the Wildcats have shot under 30% from deep, they've either been close wins or losses outside of their opening game against Nichols. So once again, another thing that Bellarmine's not been statistically great at this season, defending from beyond the arc. They got to step up and do it this game. So that's a key for me this game.
Yeah. Just to go back to the offensive rebounds real quick. So the 6.1 offensive rebound average for Bellarmine is last in the nation.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So a pointed conversation.
Ooh, I didn't even realize that. That's a good one. But anyway, so now that we've compiled all these keys for the game, what is your prediction for this one?
Yeah, so I don't remember what episode, but way back at the beginning of this season, I think someone had said, hey, out there, who's going to predict that Bellarmine, this is like, here's the players on the team episode, who's going to predict a Bellarmine victory over Kentucky? Do you remember that?
I do.
She said that. So
I do.
With that in mind,
oh, you're hyping it up too much. You're picking a loss. I know
it. Yeah. I wanted to so bad. I think Bellarmine's just not quite clicking right now offensively. Right? I think they've slid a little bit from their efficiency, offensive efficiency. They got good weapons. So.
Well, yeah,
that can be done. I think Kentucky's got too much depth to throw.
Yeah,
at,
that's
throw
exactly why I predicted. As I said,
so
there were 3 other guys I could have mentioned as keys to the game in this one. Or key players to defend.
Right.
So yeah, that unfortunately 0-1 for Bellarmine. But as we've talked about, I hope everyone. There's going to be a week where I predict. Oh wait, yeah, maybe next week is the final week where I can predict all wins for the ASUN. Because I can't once conference play starts when the calendar flips.
Exactly.
Another 5-6 team is FGCU. They had a unfortunate game on the 14th against New Mexico where they were into it we were both watching this one. They were into it in the first half, and then it just went completely downhill from there. Gabe Tanner had himself a night, though.
He did.
New highs, 8 points, 4 rebounds, picked up his first 2 points at the line as well. Leading scorers in this one were Jordan Ellerby and Rory Stewart with 9. Rory got it really going from 3 early, which was the big shock for this one because New Mexico statistically holds teams under 30%
from 3.
From 3. I think that actually ended up being the case for FGCU by the end of the game in this one as well. Another career high for this one, Darren Williams. He actually did have a respectable night as well, along with Gabe. Career high 4 steals. I think he had 8 points on the night as well. Actually, is what it was. So yeah, a respectable night for him as well. Just not everyone could put it all together. JR shot like 2 of 10 from the floor, unfortunately.
Right.
Which he's got green light. You let him take as many shots as you want to let him take. But yeah, unfortunately with that one, they just couldn't get it going in that second half there.
Right.
Even New Mexico's head coach, I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but he said post-game, he was like, listen, I don't think we played good in the second half either. I just thought we played terrible in the first and played better in the second. Like it was not a good showing from FGCU, unfortunately.
Right.
Who's currently on a slide right now.
They are.
Upcoming into this week, though, which is I'm sorry I gave away one of your keys
That's
for
right.
this game.
No worries.
They're going up against the 10-1 UCF Knights in Orlando. 8-game win streak for the Knights here. Yeah. That's a killer. I think that might be one of the best in the entire nation. Obviously not Duke's 11-0 right now, the best, but definitely one of the best.
Absolutely.
Also, as well, last week they beat Mercer 81-63. You might remember Mercer beat Lipscomb and EKU earlier in the season. 92-77 against the Bisons, although the Bisons hadn't figured themselves out yet in that game. And then also beat EKU by a score of 12. Same thing kind of in that one. I don't think EKU really figured themselves out quite yet.
No, they haven't.
At that point in the season.
So.
But still, Mercer's a great SoCon team. I would not be surprised if they win the SoCon this year.
Right.
There's a few good SoCon teams this year, though. Definitely, I could see them being one of the 12 seed upsets.
Yep.
I could definitely, or maybe a 13 seed upset
they're
for sure.
Top heavy.
Whatever team ends up coming out of the SoCon there. So your keys for the game for the Eagles against the Knights here.
Right. So again, the Eagles have lost 4 straight. They had the tough loss, overtime loss, to Kennesaw State over the Thanksgiving weekend, but then 3 straight is kind of just sort of what happened. Kind of losses.
Well, FIU and FAU, they were into both of those games. I think they were winning both of those games. I think they trailed against FIU most of the game, but they were up against FAU.
Yep.
And they let it slip away from them.
Yeah, it just sort of fizzled. There's I called it a cohesiveness. There's some sort of glue that's missing right now from the club. I can't put my finger on it exactly, but anyways. But moving into the actual game here. So UCF can score. They've only averaged 83 points a game the last 3 wins that they've had, only 83. But inside of that, both teams, and both teams are struggling from deep. They're below their averages for the season on the 3-point shot. Central Florida, a 10 plus 10 rebounding differential. How many they get versus their opponent? That's huge. That translates to possessions, shots, and obviously more points. But both teams' offensive rebound well. Excited to see that. Oh, this might be another one of those really high-scoring games.
Yeah,
I'm hoping to get hot. So that's one of my keys is I got to find their stroke. Talking about Florida Gulf Coast here, got to find their stroke from outside. They've been inconsistent and/or really bad in that regard. So that's a big one. And then play together. Mm-hmm. Whatever the pace is, we've talked about their pace. Fast, scoring a lot, taking a lot of shots. We talked about, but also losing those shootout type of games. It doesn't matter. They got to do that. They're below their average the last 2 games. Just take the last 2 in assists and in offensive rebounds by a big margin. Mm-hmm. So they're just, to me, those are awesome offensive connection numbers, assists and offensive rebounds, showing they're not playing as a team there. So they got to find a way to be more tied together, more glued together. So those are my big keys for Florida Gulf Coast to pull this game off.
I think it might just because they have so many scorers.
They do have a lot of scores, right?
And that's really kind of, I think you got to let Ramir handle the ball maybe a little bit more. He's more of a distributor.
He can score when
he. Yeah, no, I was gonna say that he can score when he wants to, but he's also had games this year where he's put up 8-9 rebounds. So
right.
I think maybe get the ball in his hands a little bit more. That might help with that. Players to defend in this one, though.
Yep.
4. Yeah, this one I had to pick all 4 because they've all been great. They've all averaged over 10 per game.
Yep.
Riley Kugel, Jordan Burks, Jamichael Stillwell, and Themis Folks. They have all been fantastic. Folks and Stillwell have scored 10-plus in the past 3 games. Whenever one of them has an off night shooting,
yep,
then the others step up. Or you could have a night against Mercer where all 4 have a great game and they score over 10-plus. So that's bad. We're not father and son at all, by the way, because my keys to the game, and we don't look at each other's before we do this either.
I saw you smiling over there.
So play fast. In Vanderbilt's only loss, they put up the most shots. Or I'm sorry, not Vanderbilt's only loss, because Vanderbilt's undefeated as well.
Right.
And UCF's only lost to Vanderbilt, which was 105-93, high-scoring games.
Early, yep.
No steals against Vandy, by the way. But, Vanderbilt put up the most shots against any team that's played, or of any team that's played against UCF so far this season. My other point, take threes. So most makes from deep against UCF is what they have. UCF's that's what Vanderbilt, the Commodores, had against the Knights here. They're a high-scoring team. The Knights are, so you got to shoot threes if you want to keep up in this game. And limit the offensive rebound. The Commodores held the Knights to a season-low 5 offensive rebounds.
Oh, wow.
So if you can do that, you talked about the offensive just the rebounding differential.
Right.
But yeah, if they're able to do that against, so that means Tristan Gillette. That means Isaiah Malone as well.
Everybody. I mean, it's a 5-man
obviously
thing.
It's a 5-man thing. But those are just the 2 most likely to get it.
Yeah.
Playing the 5 spot. Rory might play it every now and then. I think we saw a sprinkle of that in last game against New Mexico as well. I can't remember for sure off that, but I'm pretty sure I remember seeing that because I had mentioned it in the previous week, and then I was looking for it. I was like, oh, when's Rory going to play the 5? Yep. But yeah, those are the keys for me. Okay. What do you got for your prediction?
Yeah, I thought of one other thing while you were talking there, too, is what happened to Dunk City? Like, have we seen Florida Gulf Coast?
Well, we saw it out of...
it's not consistent. Like, well, I mean, and I don't speak dunks, but when have we seen like a lot
Gabe Tanner though got ASUN? I don't know if you saw it. ASUN play of the
week. I didn't watch. I saw that it was out there. But I didn't watch it.
Yeah, he got I don't know if it was the official play of the week or if it was just the vote for the play of the week.
Right.
But it was up there.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, no, the Dunk City hasn't maybe been as Dunk City-ish as they've been lately. They got to share the rock more. Get some
Exactly. That's right. Anyway, yeah, so for me, I've got a loss for Florida Gulf Coast. I just can't see. I got to see them do it here on the current run that they're on of losses and kind of just falling short performances. So, and I think UCF is just too deep and too strong.
Yeah.
To cover that.
I don't know if they're that deep. I think it's really the 4.
Too strong,
the
right?
4. Yeah. If they're able to shut down the starting lineup, I think they might be able to overcome.
And we haven't seen the Eagles shut really anybody down.
And I really yeah. Right. I really want to pick a win just to upset Preston. Preston, hopefully you're watching today, because he's the biggest sports fan I know out of anyone. I said when I was at school in Full Sail, I don't think many people took it seriously. I said if anyone's going to be a successful sportscaster out of all of us, it will be Preston because he'll send just last night he sent us a text in our group chat and he said which quarterback is the last quarterback to win his first game that is coming from Texas.
Oh my God.
Who knows that? He sends the most ridiculous stuff.
He was thinking about that.
And
or heard it.
I don't know.
That's great.
Yeah, but
so he knew the answer?
Oh yeah, he knows the answer every single time. Yeah, so
that's nuts.
So yeah, awesome. So just to mess with Preston, I'd love to pick a win, but I do agree with you that UCF is just too offensively high power fired. So I'm gonna go with a 0-1 loss. 0-1 week. Excuse me. Queens had a 3-game slate coming in this week. Nas man though, he ended up getting a career high 23 points, 6 assists, and 9 3-throw makes. Wasn't the only one to get career highs though. Who else?
Right, Carson Schwieger, 4 offensive rebounds.
Schweiger.
What did I say, Schwieger?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that, Carson.
We said it wrong at the beginning of the year, but yeah, no, don't worry.
I thought I had it right in my head there. So this is a game against South Carolina State, right? The 102-78 win, their first game of the week.
Yeah.
And then Isaiah Henry, he did all right. No, we're seeing Isaiah get more playing time in general.
More confidence. Had a great dunk.
He really,
They're Dunk City right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, with how much Avante's done it.
Yeah, they are. You're right. That's a good call. I like that. But yeah, 10 points, 5 field goals, 5 all 2-pointers. That's another career high. 6 rebounds, 5 defensive rebounds, all career highs in the short career for Isaiah Henry. But he just goes. He's fun to watch offensively. He gets the ball and watch out.
Yeah.
Built strong.
I'd like to see him be the main ball handler a little bit more. But
he kind of just goes though. Like he's not really
because he's a 2. He's a 2. You got Chris that plays the 2, and then Isaiah sometimes plays the 2 most. Right. I think it's the 2 at least because he's not usually the one bringing the ball up the court at all. I'd like to see if he has that ability or not, just because that's what I imagined for him when I was looking at his film at the beginning of the year. in the offseason coming into this year.
Yep.
So maybe that can be something that develops over time with him, but not replacing Jordan Watford at all, too, because Watford's still doing a great job of creating for others. I'd like to see Watford elevate his scoring ability a little bit more, too.
Well, you're jumping a little bit off the recaps, but I wanted to just add to that. I think Queens is probably the most positionless offense in the conference.
Yeah, that's a good call.
They really are. They're all five. There's many that can handle the ball, can be inside. They really have a breadth of versatile talent. On the club.
Yeah, that'll have to be something we ask head coach Grant Leonard about next week.
I like that.
Then also 111-73 loss on the 14th to Wake Forest. Avante Parker, I mentioned him earlier. 14 points in this one, 4 rebounds. He ended up being the player of the game because he was 5 of 5 from the floor. Once again, that's not the only game where he's been perfect from the floor this season. Chris Ashby did lead the way with 15 points, though, in this one.
All threes. 5 of 11, I believe. Threes. Good to see him crank up that many three-pointers.
And be that productive at it, too. Exactly. And then on the 16th, another tough loss, 108-80. I thought that was a respectable loss, though. They battled the entire. This is where Isaiah Henry had his big dunk. That got some national recognition as well. Nazman, once again, 16 points, 5 rebounds. He led the way in that one. Jordan Watford, career best 7 3-throw makes. And then Isaiah Henry, as you talked about, elevating his game. 2 offensive rebounds on the night, which also is a career high for him. No games for this upcoming week, though, for Queens. Enjoy the break, guys. That's going to be a nice time off. And enjoy Christmas. And then moving to Jacksonville, it was 5-7. So 110-75 loss to Texas A&M in this one. Jason Thirdkill Jr. had himself a game, 19 points, which tied his career high. Also had 3 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. And then Hayden Wood had career highs, 2 steals as well. Had a career high for points just this past week before this. And now getting it done again in another category. Then this was one of the ones that I watched on our 2-2 night. 72-65 loss. Jalen Jones, fantastic in this one. 17 points, 7 boards, 3 assists. Career high for Enrico Borio. He got it going early and then hit a couple clutch buckets.
All game long you were calling his name
over the course of Enrico did a good job. Chris Lockett had a career high 3 steals, third kill. Had 2 3-pointers. That's a career high for him as well, which does surprise me. Charles Caparasso, who's been really stepping it up lately. He's been elevating as kind of their backup big, or their backup 5 spot right now. 5 offensive rebounds as well. And then you had a question for me as well.
Maybe I got it wrong, but I think I did. You heard I heard you whooping it up about Evan Sturck, some play he made.
Yeah, well,
is that right? Did I catch it right?
He had I can't remember what the score was at the time, but it was when JU was on their big run back because they let this game completely get away from them. And then they started building back into it. And Evan Sturck hit a fantastic contested 3. It was nuts.
That's right.
And actually, that's the other. I mean, Hayden Wood probably also contention for freshman of the year as well. But Evan Sturck is another guy that when we mentioned Zaire earlier is possibly being the guy. He's kind of another front runner for me, Evan Sturck.
He doesn't have the offensive stats, but you watch him play.
He's an energy. He's got that Mateo-like mindset. He's just not. I think give him a couple years, like Mateo has had at the NCAA level, even though Mateo's in his first year in the Division I level this year. Although he did play he played at Longwood before that. Excuse me.
A couple years ago.
But I see Sturck kind of developing into something like that.
Oh, he's certainly the talent is there as he's just mature, and we've seen him grow already this year in confidence. I like to see him get in the paint more, get fouled more, like Mateo does. For sure. Another guy I'd like to see a little bit more action on, and we're starting to see him statistically, is Chris Lockett. He's making shots. Here he had 3 steals in this game, a career high. So
it's been just inconsistency. He's had games where he's been their leading scorer, and then he's had games where he's looked like a ghost and done stuff on, or at least offensively a ghost and done stuff on the defensive end instead.
My point is he's contributing. I think he's earned more playing time.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't say that probably the way.
I thought you meant you wanted him to step it up. a bit.
No. I think he has stepped up. I like to see him give more opportunities based on what he's done.
Yeah. Well, they're kind of figuring out. I think they've kind of got their starting five figured out now.
Yeah, we've seen the last few games. We're starting to see a rotation, a pretty consistent rotation of players.
Yeah.
You mentioned Caparazzo as another example of a guy that's hadn't started earlier in the year, but now he's starting to get some time. He looks pretty good.
I think he's really learned the game of basketball well. I think for playing it for such a short time. I think he's gonna step up and be a big. If it's not this year, he's gonna step up and be a big player next year, even more, as well.
Well, the ASUN will get him through the ringer for sure. The action, no doubt.
Yes, it's a big man's league this year. I said it at the start of the season.
Right. That's what, exactly.
Upcoming for them, Florida State. So they're back in Tallahassee for this one. They do have the Seminoles. They have a game on Friday. So today, once again, if you're watching early on Friday here when we release the episode, Mississippi Valley State, which is 1-11 right now. So they're looking to also Florida State's looking to snap a 5-game losing streak. Yeah. So they played 2 games last week. Lost to UMass. Had another loss as well. I can't remember who it was.
They lost 28 points to Dayton.
Oh, yeah, Dayton. That's who
Dayton
it was.
Wiped
Yeah.
them out.
Yeah.
And as we know, Dayton beat North Florida by 23 recently.
Yep.
Last week as well.
Absolutely. So, but Robert McRae the fifth, who you might remember. By the way, we have a Where They At Wednesday of them. We'll leave a link for that up in one of the corners as well if you want to go watch that. But yeah, he's playing for FSU. He's their leading scorer right now. So yeah. I definitely think that's going to be fun to get to see him come back and play his old school.
Oh yeah, and I think that's one of the keys of the game is for Jacksonville a victory. Projected victory for Jacksonville. You got to get McRae to overplay, is how I phrase it. Ooh, yeah.
Little rhyme or reason there.
Yeah, I mean, he leads Florida State in points. He leads them by a large margin in assists. He keeps getting double-digit assists regularly. But he also leads them with almost 4 turnovers per game, which it was a problem he had last year at Jacksonville as well. Such a playmaker. He's very dynamic, right? But there comes with a cost as well. So can they get him to overplay a little bit and maybe even.
Of course, he's a playmaker. He broke a record in that Wednesday that I was telling you about. You can find out what stat that was.
Exactly. So that's one key. Can they get him to overplay?
Yeah, real quick before you get into your other keys. He's my player to defend in this one.
Okay. Yeah.
He knows the university. He was the leading scorer for the past 2 seasons at Jacksonville.
Right.
He was the top 5 scoring player in the conference the past 2 seasons.
Yep.
In the ASUN when he was playing there. So, and 4 straight games with 10+. Only player on the team to do that.
Wow.
There are 2 other guys that Kobe McGee and LeJay Jones. They're coming off 2 straight games with 10+.
Yep.
But yeah, 4 straight games, 10+ for McRae there.
Ooh.
But yeah, so what are your other points for that?
Second one is win rebounds. They're actually the sort of differential. The Dolphins are almost +4 rebounds, and Florida State is -3.5 on rebounding. So I think there's an opportunity there for
win that rebound
to win if they can hold true to those numbers. Not that I'm not comparing their exact numbers, but just how they are relative to who they play against. Trend-wise, that hints that Jacksonville can really win some glass. And it's kind of my third point is getting production from Rivers and Caparazzo as a pair inside, or either 1-2 rotating through, or even on the floor together. Potentially, I don't think we've seen that yet. But getting that
not in a game that I've been able to watch. No, I haven't seen that. I think they're both 5s. I mean, Caparazzo's main thing is getting an alley-oop.
Yeah, exactly.
They're trying to set it up a lot for him lately. Yep. Which he's 7'1". Why wouldn't you?
Exactly. But anyways, I want to see production from them. Get those rebounds. Anybody get the rebounds, but let's see some production from Rivers and Caparazzo offensively. So those are my 3 keys to a victory for Jacksonville.
Okay. Well, I want some swarm D like you talked about. They don't let FSU figure out their jumpers. Their jump shot's broken right now on this.
Very much
outside of 1 game being a win, all their losses have been the worst shooting games from 3.
Yep.
They shot inside really well against UMass, but took 41 threes, only hitting 29% of those.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it hit 12 of them. And 5 of their 6 losses are the worst night shooting from inside. So you can't let this team figure out what's been going on in their jumper game. It's not working right now for them. Their steal numbers have plummeted in the past 2 games too. 5 of the 6 games that they've lost, that are the fewest steal nights for them, are losses as well.
Oh.
So yeah, and that's all been happening on this 5-game stint here. Have a strong first half is my other key point in this one. Twice against FAMU, they came out slow. They did hold TAMU for a little bit, but honestly, in that one, they didn't really get off to a hot start either, and then Texas A&M pulled away after that. And then keep the turnovers low. Played 2 games against Power 5 opponents, 19 turnovers against the Aggies, only 12 against Miami on opening day, and we watched that game. And we watched a lot of games on opening day, but that was one of the games that we really focused on because they were in it for the majority of that game. They only really fell out of it towards the end there. I think that one came down to the automatic fouls as well. That was another one that could have been a win for them and would have been a really big upset heading into the week there. So those are my keys. What do you got for the overall though?
I think it's definitely ripe for taking. Right, Jacksonville I think has a great opportunity to win this game. I got a close game. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's going to be an overtime loss.
Overtime
loss, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. For a close game, but just not be able to quite get over the hump for the Dolphins.
Nice. Well,
how about yourself?
Well, I know it looks bad losing to the Rattlers recently because the Rattlers only had 2 wins before that, and both I think were against non-Division I opponents. So that was their first Division I win was against Jacksonville here.
Right.
But FAMU played a great game against Jacksonville only twice in their Division I games. The overtime loss that the Rattlers had as the Dolphins came back and took that one.
Yep.
Huge thanks to Donovan Rivers on that one. And then, I think that – and Evan Stark, too. Evan Stark played great that game.
Yes, he did.
But, I think that this Dolphins team is a perfect not a perfect matchup, but a really good matchup.
It does match up. They do match up well.
For what's going on with FSU right now, and I think it's going to be a dub.
Nice.
1-0.
Nice.
Moving into Central Arkansas.
We got something different from each other for once.
Moving into Central Arkansas, who's on the 13th, lost 83-72. Didn't get to see this one against Vanderbilt. Holden, I think you said it was the lowest that Vanderbilt's
scored this year.
Yeah. So that was
so props to Central Arkansas for pulling that off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Javion Guy King also was the player of the game in that one. 13 points, career high 3s of 3-pointers. 3 rebounds, 3 steals in that one. I don't know if anyone else had career highs in that game or not. He was not the leading scorer that game, though. I think he was. I don't know. Give me the next game while I look for who was the leading scorer in that one.
Yep. Okay. So on the 17th, we had Education Day at Conway playing Kansas Christian College. And it was really fun game. UCA won 102-47. Cam Hunter, 19 points, 3 rebounds, 3 steals. Led a host of guys that scored a ton of points and really look at like I said, having a lot of fun out there. Career highs. How about this? Elkaya Marable, 16 points, 6 field goals, 6 2-pointers, all 2-pointers, and 5 offensive rebounds. Those are all his career highs, his short career. Truman Byrne, 5 offensive rebounds, 8 total rebounds. Harry Beecham, 11 points, 4 rebounds on defensive end and total. Those are all career highs. 4 field goals, 3 3-pointers. And finally, Tyler Lee, 11 rebounds, 7 of them defensive, 4 offensive.
Great rebound
career highs there
for them.
Yeah, that was awesome. They really, they forced a ton of turnovers. That game was really just a plain old blowout.
By the way, big shocker, Cameron Hunter led
Really?
UCA against Vanderbilt with 18 in that contest.
Cam's really fun to watch get post up. He's a big man and a little bit in a non-big man body, but he's great at it. He's really slippery and a lot of great
great at drawing contact too.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's upcoming for them this week is a game against 9-2 SMU. Going to Dallas for this one. Last week they did lose 87-77. That was against just a second here. Why don't you give me your keys as well heading into this one?
Let's see. SMU, they defend 3 well. The 29% is all they give up in that space. They also draw fouls. This is an area that they're really good at that and shoot at 77%. Second in the ACC for foul shots taken. Average score 88 to 77, so they can put it up. And this, from an experience perspective, this is big for me. Top 4 players are all seniors, so they got a lot of great senior leadership there. You want me to jump into my keys?
No, just a second, because I do know who they won against now. It was against lost against Louisiana State, aka LSU.
Louisiana State.
Well, no, they've been flipping it back and forth with what they've been going. Like, it used to be all LSU, and now it's been flipping back and forth between what they go by now, which is a little strange to me. But yeah, an 89 to 77 loss in that one. You talked about the seniors, Jason Pierre Jr. and Kevin Miller. Both of those guys have been huge lately, although Miller is a junior. So here's where I wanted to go with that. In all 11 games for the Mustangs they played this season, they've scored in double figures.
Okay.
Those are the players to watch.
Yeah.
In this one. What are your other keys?
I say it too often, but they got to get hot from 3. I think, again, to beat a bigger team like this scenario here, they've got to bomb it. They do lead the ASUN. This is Central Arkansas. Leads the ASUN in 3 points attempted. They're not. Their percentage isn't great, but they do shoot a lot of threes. And I hopefully they can draw from the Vandy game, right? They hopefully learned a lot and about how to shorten the bench up, manage the ball, those kinds of elements. They can do that and be disciplined to not foul. Just play sound defense, leading the sound rebounding, which is my third key. Is to rebound out. Everybody rebound. Vandy versus Vandy. Everybody except for one guy got rebounds against Vandy. So it was a team rebounding effort. We need to see that again.
36 in that one. 36. That's what they ended up having.
Yeah.
They did get out rebounded 46 to 36, but still good effort on the glass that night.
Yeah, and it's consistent to what they've shown, actually, the Bears. So
it's because they keep missing threes.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I'm not kidding.
That's true.
Do you have any more points?
No, those are my main points.
Okay, so you said shoot threes, right?
Shoot 3. No, you shouldn't, but of course make them. But yes.
Yeah, I said lose the 3.
Lose the 3.
It's not working. The shots are under 35% from outside the past 3 games. I know that's why they were brought in. Head coach John Schulman joked around about it.
Yeah.
One post came with Cameron Hunter sitting right there. Said it wasn't for their looks, which is really funny.
Oh, yeah.
But they got to find a way to score inside. Only shot more than 50% on the inside against Power 5 teams once this year. Avoid Samat Yigi Toglu. Yigi Toglu is his last name.
Okay.
Samat Yigitalu. The only player on the team with more than one block per contest. So a good opportunity to find that inside scoring this game. Continue to force turnovers. Every time the Bears have forced more than 15 turnovers per game, they've won. But here's the thing, though. In the 2 losses Southern Methodist has had, they got dominated on the inside. 1 and 0 blocks in their losses. Allowed opponents to shoot 57% or better from the floor, 67% or better from inside.
Oh, wow.
Only one other game over 50% overall from the floor, and 60% from inside. That was a 102 to 91 win over Murray State.
Okay.
That's another game that sounds like, based on the scoreboard there, it got into the automatic fouls at the end.
Right.
So that's the key to beating the Mustangs, is scoring the inside in this one. That's why I say get away from the 3. Not only are they struggling with it,
right,
because they found success with it through the midpoint of the season that they've had so far, but they've lost it again. So just, don't obviously completely you still need the 3 to open up what can go on the inside. But yeah, put your focus on the inside game. Now, Kaya Marable is going to be a big piece to this game, coming off a career high in points. I'm hoping he ends up having a big night tonight, and you might see him a little bit later today as well, so pay attention for that.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I follow what you're saying. But who on this team has shown that they can do that?
Cam Hunter.
It's Cam Hunter, right? And they're not built. My point being,
J-Van Guy King.
I think they're not built for an inside game.
Ty Robinson.
He can get in, but I don't know.
Mm.
Ty is a good point. I mean, Ty is an element to.
I'm gonna look it up real quick. I want to see.
And I think Luke
who
Morris,
actually just.
so they can penetrate from the outside, but I think they don't usually finish. Ty does.
Harry Beecham, 52% on the inside.
He doesn't go there that often.
He shoots there more than he does from 3. Tyler Lee, 48% on the inside. Another guy I completely forgot about to mention, Cole McCormick, 45% on the inside isn't necessarily the best. Oh, I'm sorry, that's field goal percentage, excuse me. Right. On the inside, Cole McCormick, 68% from inside. Ty Robinson, 61% from inside. Melchiah Marable, 60% from inside. Parker Applegate, who's been stepping up, playing a lot more minutes lately, 60% from inside. Tyler Lee, 57% from inside. Cam Hunter, 53% from inside. Still a really good number, shooting over 50% percent from inside. Also, along with that, Luke Moore, 54% from inside.
Nice.
J-Van Guy King, 52% from inside. That's where you got to find your game. Inside. Yeah. You're hitting over 50% of your shots from inside. Start working it there more. Right. Let's go.
Ooh.
That's what I'm saying.
I like it.
I like it. I like it on the inside. Yeah, you got any other points before we move on?
I do know. Nope. Not at all. Who is going to win this game?
All right, cool. I am going to go with, well, just because Central Arkansas hasn't followed the game plan that I'm talking about for them so far, I'm going to go with an 0-1 week just because of that. But if they make those adjustments, I think they can pull off the win in this game.
Yeah, I like your thinking about changing the dynamic. Was really I still struggle to find an identity. Like, what is exactly UCA's successful identity offensively? It kind of comes in waves. You got another point?
No, just what I wrote when I guess yes. Then technically I do have another point. But it builds. I said lose the 3. It's not working.
Right.
At least currently, right now, as I said during the middle part of the season, it was. But I know that's why they were brought in, is what I wrote here. And then I said, but it's just not the identity this season.
Yeah, gotcha.
So as soon as you said the word, I don't know the identity. That's where I thought there. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So I have a loss for Central Arkansas in this game. I think there's too much firepower for the Mustangs.
Okay.
To overcome. Again, if they can make the, I think they're back to, they make the 3s, that'll keep the game close. You never know what happens at the end. So they got to bomb. They got to make them.
Okay.
Harry's a good. Beecham's a good example of a guy that can do that.
Nice.
All right.
Moving into Stetson, who's 4-8 now on the season. On the 15th, they beat Division III Rhodes College, with 6-2 coming into this game, 95-76. Give away our guy, everything that he did that night.
Calvin Bobo Sermons, he had an all right game. Just
decent.
Watching him play that game, we know Division III school, Rhodes College, but he was on fire. Mm-hmm. Like he just new hair style. I think it was new. The last I had seen him. I don't know did you catch that at all?
What?
Bobo had a different hair.
Oh, no, I didn't catch that.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, he had some, I don't know how to
new
describe
hairstyle and a new game style of play.
But he played just with so much passion and energy and confidence. So let's run down his stats. So first of all, a double-double, 11 points, 11 assists. These are all career highs. So those are career highs at the Division I level. 5 field goals, 4 2-pointers, 6 rebounds, 5 defensive rebounds, and 2 blocks. He also had 2
at the Division I level, as you said.
Yeah, at the Division I level. He was part of our Top Performance Tuesday segment.
Yeah,
that's out there. And
yeah,
he got
check that out as well.
Yeah, I think he won. It was a close vote of everything to 0 to 0 to 0 to 0.
Except for Chaz ended up stepping up and saying we love seeing players, teammates support their teammates. he was hyping up, Kenneth Chime for getting it as well in his
That's
career
true.
high point
That's
night.
right.
And
You're right.
three blocks as well on that night as well.
Yep, another 3 blocks.
Yeah, exactly.
What a game! And
yeah,
we saw it early in the season from Calvin and from Stetson when he was the first 2 games where he brought dynamic playmaking. He'd get in the paint and find somebody open and really set up lots of good looks.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And then as the season's gone on until this game,
that Southern Utah game is when it started.
Yeah, he started to slide out of that. He wasn't playing.
That's what I'm saying. He got tentative against Southern Utah.
Exactly.
That's when he kind of started playing a little bit more tentative. I remember he got blocked one time that game, and then the next time he went on a fast break, he looked behind him, hesitated, and didn't take the shot.
Right. Yeah,
and that's kind of, ever since then, head coach Donnie Jones kind of yanked him from the lineup a little bit.
A lot. Yeah.
So it was good to see him take advantage of an opportunity to get some more minutes and absolutely run with it.
Right. And speaking of getting minutes and running with it, Ethan Copeland took career high 29 points, made 8 3-pointers on 11 attempts. That's a career high also for 3-point makes and also 10 field goals for the team.
That's a career high as well, right?
Also a career high.
Yeah.
And he was our feature on
Transfer Thursday. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So a couple nice performances, well deserved on our.
Absolutely, great week for Stetson on the Acker up front.
That's right.
Other career highs as well. Jamie Phillips got 13 rebounds, 10 of them on the defensive end. Colin Cool, 12 rebounds as well. And J.R. Leonard, 16 points. He kind of flew under the radar in this one with all the other career highs that were going on. 7 field goal makes, 6 of them from 2. All career highs for them.
Right. And at one point, they ended up with 3 double-doubles for the game. At one point, there could have been like 8 guys that were ball vying for double-doubles. Obviously, Bobo almost did a triple-double.
Yeah,
it was really fun to watch.
Someone commented that, by the way. Should have been a triple.
Oh yeah, someone did. Should have been. Like, come on, what are you doing? It's all you can do. No.
Yeah.
It was just a fun game to watch as a stats nut.
Yeah, and hopefully they can ride that momentum. That's actually one of my key points for the week, as they head on the 22nd to play in Oklahoma, coming off a 2-0 week, won over Oklahoma State on the 13th. 85-76, and then also beat Kansas City, as we discussed earlier, 89-67. For me in this one, Xavier Brown and Nigel Pack are the 2 cogs that the Sooners have had the past 2 games. Brown has been the leading scorer in both of those games, Pack not far behind.
Right.
So for that, I think those are the guys to watch. I said ride the momentum for one of my keys because we saw it earlier in the season when they won against Howard at home. They ended up hosting VMI the next game, and that was really, really, really good win as well. So I think they hit over 100 in that game, 100 points in that game. So ride that momentum like you did. Still looking for their first road win of the season, though. Yep. Another one, effectively share the rock. They're currently tied for 10th in the ASUN with 13.6 per game. In games that Oklahoma has lost, teams that move the ball incredibly well win against them, and it's not because the team is making more shots. That stat didn't. More field goal makes and more assists. Those stats didn't correlate with one another. It was teams that took advantage of playmaking in order to create the shot that won against Oklahoma. Okay. And then my last one in this: don't get bullied inside. Currently, they allow teams to 56% shooting on the interior, so don't get bullied on the inside. You got to figure out a way to defend that rock on the inside.
Oh, absolutely. Right. Yeah, that's been an issue for multiple teams this year in the ASUN, but that's certainly in Stetson, certainly no stranger to that. My threes, don't lose the attitude. These are going to line up pretty funny. Like what they gained. They played loose. They played confident. So carry that over. Get fouled. Like, don't worry about getting blocked. Just go get fouled. Just create something. Let it fly. Try something new.
Yes.
No, they know how to do that. Make threes. I think, again, getting inside, kicking the ball out for open looks. They got to hit a lot of threes. I'm saying 50% for them to win this game. They got to hit over 50% of their threes. They really do bank on 3-pointers, and they're good at it. A lot of guys can shoot threes. Mm-hmm. Combined with Jamie, for example, inside too.
They just got to get the consistency with it going.
Exactly. And then win rebounds for this one's a big element for me. OU only had 18 points in the paint their last game. Loss. I think it was their last game, or the last loss against Arizona State. They had 18 inside points, so I think there's opportunity there to win the inside game and win. So therefore, win rebounds.
Do you think they're going to win the game then?
I got a yes.
Whoa.
I do.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I'm just excited about what we saw again.
You're riding the momentum along.
I'm riding the momentum. Exactly. So yeah, no, I'm an upset special for this week. Here it is. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. What say you?
I say non-win. No, it just the points that I brought up to why the Sooners lost, even though a bunch of guys are coming off career highs.
Yep.
Was against Division III roads. So that kind of take that one with a grain of salt. Obviously, don't take anything away from where they what the guys produced that game. That's a great team win for everyone there. But this game, what Oklahoma loses to, does not speak to what Stetson is.
Correct.
As a team.
I agree.
And so for that reason, I'm out.
We're on Shark Tank.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I got for them. Another team that's 4-8 is the EKU Colonels. On the 13th, they lost by 10 to Miami, Ohio, who is or was at the time undefeated. I don't know if they still. I think they still are. Evans Paul, that he was the key in that one. 9 points, 12 rebounds, which is a career high. 6 from the offensive end, also a career high. 3 free throw makes, also a career high. That doesn't happen often from Paul. But good to see him doing that. Exactly. 2 steals and 3 blocks as well in that one.
Loaded up.
Yeah, he played great in that one. Juan Cranford did lead with 18 points as well. Yep. Those were a lot of comeback when we're coming back, which is what's been happening with EKU all season. When they're down, they get down a lot, and then they all of a sudden start to creep back in the game again. Yeah. So that's truly pretty tough, man. This team, don't underestimate this team heading into ASUN play. Right. And then on the 17th, a 62-59 win against Jack State. I didn't get to watch this one. This was one of your games in our 2-2. Yeah. So what'd you see? Or what happened?
So let's start with let's call out Turner Buttrey. 19 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. He played an amazing game. At 37 minutes, I think, something like that. He played a ton, but he was fantastic. Both ends of the floor. He does get trapped underneath defensively at times, but he's willing to go in there and scrap for balls. Oh, yeah, he's a scrappy player. He did not get the belt, though. He did not get the belt, right. No. So we had some foul trouble here. Evans and Monty both fouled out. Monty's was late, 2 minutes left in the game. Asa White came in 3 blocks. He had a block and 2 defensive rebounds in the last 2 minutes after Monty had fouled out and earned the belt from Coach. Hey, he's a guy I'm surprised hasn't gotten many minutes this year. I really liked his game from Johnson C. Smith. Yeah. But yeah, no, certainly earned an opportunity after this one. I would imagine, yes, exactly right. Big step up there and they've got a few guys out as well. So good to see that happened. Actually, so to me this was a gut check. Like the eye test said, almost like they woke up in this game. They scrapped for every ball, every loose ball, and it wasn't just Turner. I mentioned him before. It was everybody. A rebound, they were on the floor. They were ripping balls away. It was a different team. Yeah, you said Juan did that as well. Juan did that a few times, and that's something we've been waiting for Juan to do. Exactly, like it got infectious. Interview with Turner Buttrey after the game. He even said that the last 2 practices were the off the charts best practices we've had all year. It translated to the eye test, and he even said it translated to the game. So hopefully bigger things to come from that sort of element of really what we've seen them missing so far. We've seen a lot of EKU. We kind of go, there's not. They say they're 40 tough, and I'm sure they are. And it's not that, but they're not showing it as a cohesive team. This game they did. It was a wake-up game for me. Very everyone was 40 tough individually. Everyone competed, but yeah, I think they really put it together as a team in this game. Moving into what they got upcoming for this week. On the 21st, they're going to be going to Wichita, Kansas to play against the Shockers. They're 7-5 right now. They split last week, lost to DePaul 61-58 on the 13th. They also beat Wofford 84-73 on the 17th. As you may remember, the Terriers defeated EKU 83-77
on November 29th.
Right.
And then this team also lost to Western Kentucky, 75-70.
Right.
Same thing. EKU did lose to them 87-79 a little bit early. That was towards the very, very beginning of the season.
Yep.
Monty got hurt in that game. That was a game, honestly, where I think I think we mentioned this once before on the podcast, but if Monty didn't get hurt in that game, because he was running that game.
Totally running.
Yeah.
It all went through him.
Yeah, so I think they would have ended up winning that game. I mean, and a team is more than just one guy, but with him, the way he was controlling that game, yeah, that was an unfortunate time for him to go out in that one. Players to defend in this one: Kenyon Giles, all 12 games, he has been in double figures. He's the player you gotta watch out for.
Yeah, 17
for sure.
points per game, and he's like he's the guy that takes like all their shots.
I think he's had 2 30-point games this year. I could be wrong on that, but
he shoots it a lot. He shoots the rock a lot.
Yeah,
inside.
Well, 30+ point games is what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, but why they've lost though? Shooting poorly from beyond the arc. 1 in 5 when shooting 30% or less from beyond. So that's a key for EKU in this one for me, which they're not great at. They allow like 36 or 37 per contest percentage. Hold the arc in this one. Don't let them shoot well from beyond. That's clearly where they've proven that they're not winning games here. Another one, limit the boards. So this one's kind of an interesting stat because they only got out-rebounded in 2 of these games. But all 5 of their losses have been coming when they've had 35 or less boards.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think
that
one's a big key as well. And then just continue building on the defensive end, as you talked about with Turner Buttrey. They're really kind of maybe getting that synergy going now, really trying to started to finally figure out who they are, or maybe got that gut check and was like, we got to step it up or else this is not going to be a good season for us.
It was kind of like that early season Lipscomb thing we talked about.
Yes.
Where it's kind of like, oh, we gotta just make or break kind of thing. And,
so that's I think it's going to be something that is going to be interesting to develop over the course of these next few games here.
Exactly. Yep. I have similar keys. Clean defending. Obviously, we had Myrick and Evans fouled out last game. Myrick's had 4 or 5 fouls in half of the games. He's played in 10 games this year. He missed a couple. So he's had 4 or 5 fouls 5 times. I wouldn't have expected that at all. I think he might have been defensive player of the game preseason, of the year, excuse me. And they've got to prevent the dribble penetration. We talked about the 3-point defending the arc is key to this game in terms of the Shockers' stats, right? That 30% 3-point shooting number that comes from not allowing dribble penetration. They got to stop that, which they did a good job last game. Limiting the second chance points for here. Good positional defense leads to good there. Shockers do pull 15 offensive rebounds per game on average, so it's a big challenge for Eastern Kentucky to keep that nice and clean. Maybe we'll see more of Asa White in that regard.
Yeah,
to help in that space.
Yeah, and you have Evans and Myrick now playing the 4 and 5, so those are 2 big boys playing there. That there's the opportunity for this one to go. I'm actually going to go with a win with what they figured out from last week against Jack State. I think that they might have finally found that click.
And I think it's a win here. I think it's a good matchup for them. You mentioned Evans and Myrick. Another thing that happened in the last game was the ball went into those guys and into Myrick and Paul, and they were very patient. They got doubled often, especially early in the game, and rather than just forcing his shot up, they were patient. Guys slid to open spots. It was really good, cohesive offense.
Nice.
I think that's going to carry over, just like we talked about the energy carryover. I think they may have found some groove there too, of an element that was just missing. So, and with that, it's a key, and I think it's going to be a win.
Nice. All right, and then we have UNF at Dayton, UNF just in general. But yeah, moving into the Ospreys now, 2-9 coming into this week. Man. Still searching for that Division I win. I thought it was going to come today. It was brewing the entire time, and then it just unfortunately fell a little short.
Right.
Earlier in the week, as I mentioned, 84-61 against Dayton. Cameron Oriole led the way with 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists in that one. Dalton Gaiman also had a career-high 7 defensive boards. And also Dante Oliver, 3 free throws made. Also a career high for him. For that one, or this next game here, 113-90 loss against Charleston Southern. Charleston Southern, I think, they hit more 3-pointers in the first half than they average on season per game, which Charleston Southern was the #1 team for 3-point makes coming into the game, which was incredibly shocking considering that North Florida allowed less than 30% against teams before the game. And that was the key why I thought they were going to win this game, was their 3-point defense. It just wasn't there today. Luckily, the offense was.
It sure was. Yeah,
very respectable loss today.
Yeah. And it just ran into a buzzsaw.
Yesterday.
Right. It just ran into a buzzsaw from a shooting perspective for the Bucks. Sure.
Yeah. Cameron Oriole, 1 point shy of his career high, 29 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals. Nestor Diachuk also career high 3 assists in a very limited amount of minutes, but to have that playmaking in those minutes, good sign for him.
Exactly. We talked about, again, continually with North Florida about having more bigs that can contribute action rate to help take some pressure off of Dalton Gaiman's.
Well, I think Gaiman stepped it up.
Gaiman
tied some career highs as well. I don't have those off the top of my head right now, but he didn't set any new career highs today.
He tied a bunch. Correct.
Yep. For shooting, they were shooting stats. His field goals and his 3-point makes.
Right.
He tied for his career highs, his Division I career highs at least.
Yep.
For the upcoming week, though, they're going to be playing against Miami. You're going to Coral Gables for this one on the 21st.
Florida, that is right.
Yes, Miami, Florida. Which Miami, we discussed it a little bit earlier. They beat Jacksonville early in the year. Also beat Stetson at the beginning of the season. 86-69 was the game on opening day against the Dolphins. 102-61 against Stetson. That made them 3-0. They are coming off a 2-win week as well. 104-79 against Louisiana Monroe. And then also 98-81 against FIU. They're also on a 5-game win streak.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's big as well. This Miami team's tough.
They are.
What do you got for the keys in
highest,
this one?
The highest shooting percentage in the ACC at 52%. They don't shoot threes, so we know what that means for North Florida from an offensive or from a defensive challenge perspective is stopping anybody from scoring inside. Real tough matchup for North Florida. I think how do you pack it in? How do you force Miami to shoot threes in this game? I think it's their only shot. And winning. Really, they only need one key. Is that one?
That was my only key as well.
Come on. Here we go again. What are we doing this for? No, we need a one-man band.
I got one more key. Double the bigs.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Sure.
That would be my other key as well. In this one, just thinking off of the top of my head here.
Right. So do you get in in this game? Does North Florida try to get in a shooting contest to outscore them?
You have
or they try to slow it down and pack it in?
No, I think you have to get into a shooting conference. Contest in this one, kind of like what you said against Dayton last week. Yeah. You have to do that if you want to get the win. Ernest Uda Jr. is going to be a problem this game. If he plays, he's been in and out of the lineup with injury issues all season. He did play against FIU, though. Had a 12.8 rebound, 3 block night. You may remember also at the beginning of the season, he was our player of the game against JU. 14 points, 14 boards, 2 swats along with that.
Jeez.
Yeah. He was also perfect from the floor with all 5 of his shots that he took. So that one's going to be a problem. If he's not in, they still have a way to score inside. And honestly, this is probably the bigger player to watch for this one. I just think matchup-wise, maybe Uday is going to be the harder challenge. Is former QoC and Duke forward Malik Renault. He's the leading scorer with 20.5 points per game.
Yeah, I saw you mention that.
22 points, 10 rebounds against Stetson. Also added 3 assists in that game. They've also only lost to Power 5 teams as well, who are still ranked.
Yep.
So that's just not looking good. That was their first 2 games by far. Or those were their 2 games by far, shooting the worst from inside, though. 35%. Yeah, those losses there. 35% against Florida.
Yep.
46% against BYU. So the lowest after that is 52% from inside. So we already know UNF's likely not going to be able to shut down on the inside.
Right.
You gotta keep up with them then.
Yeah, it's probably. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's my take too. And I don't think they can. Well, I think they prove. Again, we know they can score points, but yeah, just.
It'll come. It'll come.
Yeah.
It's coming soon.
Right.
Today was yesterday was it literally is yesterday at this point.
Right. It was a fluky,
that was a crazy game. It was so much fun to watch.
It was.
But yeah, it'll come.
A lot of screaming.
Yes, definitely. A couple 6-7s and on 100-point. That's when there was a lot of screaming there too as well. But that's going to do it for this episode of Acker Basketball. Thanks for staying with us this whole way. I know it was a long one. Let us know if you like this content better than what we produced last week, because we went in a lot more in-depth this week. I know I certainly like this stuff better. I think I said it when we went in-depth before as well.
Right.
It's just way more fun for me. I feel so much more prepared coming into the week, too. It's just as far as how I can view these teams moving forward and what I can expect for the coming week. So I hope you feel the same. Be sure, as I said, to smash that like button. Hopefully we can get to 10 likes this week. Send this to a friend so that way they can experience the same joy as well. All your fellow ASUN fans. And until next time.
Yeah, happy holidays too coming up.
Absolutely. Enjoy your Christmas.